And one of those shots, I should say, matched to a test shot that was fired from the grassy knoll. Now, because of the controversial nature of that finding, the House Select Committee then asked for a second opinion, and they went to back to the Acoustical Society of America, and they said, okay, your next lab would be the Computer Science Department at Queens College. They're the folks that write the computer programs for our submarines and sonar applications. And they analyzed the evidence and not only confirmed the results of the first lab, but actually took the analysis further, specifically on the grassy knoll shot, to confirm that there was a match. Now, the point I want to make is that it is not just the matching, that the fact that you match your test shots to the suspect's sounds that lead us to believe these other gunshots killed President Kennedy. It was the fact that the matching was in order. And by that I mean, when they conducted their test, their field test, they didn't know where the microphone was, where the police officer was. So they placed an array of 36 microphones along the known path of the motorcade route. And when they fired their test shots, they found that the first sound on the recording matched to a microphone at this position here near the corner of Elm and Houston. Now, the counter-argument you see is that maybe these matches, it's just by chance. By some chance alone, the sounds might have matched to the suspect sounds. If so, the match could appear at any one of the 36 microphones because it has nothing to do with the topography of Dealey Plaza. The first sound matched at this position. The second sound on the recording matched to a test shot recorded at this position. The third sound on the recording matched to a test shot recorded at this microphone, and so on. 4 here and 5 here. So the data was ordered. The matches fall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 order. Now there's 125 ways that you could arrange 5 possible matches, only one of which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's not just the order in the data, it's the spacing, because the first 3 sounds, suspect sounds in the recording, are about a second or so apart. Then there's a 5-second lag, and then there's 2 more shots close together. So the spacing of the microphones also matched the chronological spacing on the recording. And it's not just the order and the spacing, but the trajectory, because the distance from this microphone to this microphone was 130 feet. And the time spacing between the first and the last sounds is 8.3 seconds, which would give you a speed of approximately 12 miles per hour. Now, the FBI's analysis of the Zapruder film showed the president's limousine was moving 11.3 miles per hour. So you have a close match between the trajectory shown here and the actual speed of the motorcade. It is this order in the data which was what convinced the acoustical experts that they had found the shots that killed President Kennedy. So, if we were in Dealey Plaza that day, this is basically a sequence that we would have heard. If the acoustical evidence is correct. One way that we can test the acoustical evidence is then to obviously go back and look at the Zapruder film and look at the wounding sequence. There's 2 places where we see somebody get wounded in the Zapruder film. The obvious one where President Kennedy's head burst open from the force of the shot, and that occurred at Zapruder frame 313. Now, Conley was also shot, and in the frames between about 230, 250, in that range, you see Conley actually go into contortions. The Warren Commission suggested, well, he may have been shot at some earlier time. In 1990, there may have been a delay between when he was actually shot and when he went into his anguish. And I believe it was 1992, an outfit called Failure Analysis Associates for the American Bar Association did a study, photogrammetric study of the Zapruder film, and they noted that at 224 and 225 here, you see that the lapel on Conley's jacket flapped out. And that could indicate then, since the bullet went through his jacket, that could have been the moment of impact. And if so, we find a precise match because between frame 224 and 313 is 4.8 seconds. And between the, you can't see that, and on our audio sequence it's also 4.8 seconds between the third shot and the grassy knoll shot, which would be the head shot. So we have a close agreement between the filmed evidence and our acoustical evidence. This is what the NRC report had to say about the acoustical evidence. This was in the appendix of the NRC report, in which it says that the Zapruder film could be analyzed further to see if the apparent incompatibility between the conjectured shots and the data inferred from the angular accelerations of the camera can be removed. Now, I would point out that this is a conclusionary statement for which there was no evidence or analysis included. One of the writers of the NRC report, Louis Alvarez, was the original author of the blur analysis study, which really goes back to